13th February at dusk, RAF Lancasters wing their way toward Dresden in a massive blow involving more than 800 heavy bombers. A new type German Scarecrow bomb explodes in mid-air, simulating a direct hit on a bomber. Pathfinder flares and incendiaries mark the immediate targets. Another Scarecrow bomb. The attack is in support of Russian armies moving toward this rail center on a front 50 miles away. $2,650 tons of bombs are dropped during the night attack. 2 days later, AAF Flying Fortresses follow up with a second assault on this German communication center. And 25 tons of explosives are aimed at what remains of the freight yards. Prior to the war, Dresden was a city of 625,000 population. The double blow is estimated to have virtually destroyed the entire city. Planes over enemy territory on 22nd February, a typical day of all-out Allied bombing. The RAF bombs highways and viaducts. Every type of RAF combat plane is used in this onslaught on German transport, troops, and communications. 1,900 heavy bombers from the 8th and 15th Air Force groups strike at rail targets. Rocket-firing typhoons peel off to strike at enemy installations and supplies. More than 7,500 sorties are made, and more than 6,600 tons of explosives are dropped during this single day of all-out bombing and strafing. On 23rd February, the following night, the German industrial city of Pforzheim is hit by more than 400 RAF bombers. Using a new bombing technique, the Lancasters lay some 10,000 4-pound incendiaries to mark the target. Then they drop everything from 500 to 12,000-pound blockbusters. In 20 minutes, the raid is over. The town of Pforzheim is completely destroyed. On 2nd March, 700 Lancaster and Halifax bombers roar over Cologne to block roads and railroads leading across the Rhine and to destroy concentrations of German troops fleeing the city as the American First Army smashes into it. "3,000 tons of bombs hit the city, once 4th largest in Germany, now a pile of rubble and shattered buildings." A German Scarecrow bomb demolishes a Lancaster. Strategic targets are hit without destroying the Cologne cathedral, which still stands amid the ruins. The American drive to the Rhine is launched on 23rd February with assaults against the Ruhr River line. Troops of the 1st and 9th Armies await the signal to follow platoons which negotiated the swollen Ruhr in the hours before dawn. Tanks give protective fire at the river's edge. An early morning mist hangs over the west bank as elements of the 104th Infantry Division move up assault craft for a crossing to the Dueren area east of Aachen. Despite enemy fire from the east bank and the swift current of the Ruhr, the bridgehead operations go forward almost without interruption. Once across the river, assault units of the 104th 415th Regiment move on initial objectives in and around Dueren. They attacked the factory section of the German industrial town, which had a normal population of 35,000. A building-by-building Nazi defense is overcome. Except for slight delays at surrounded strong points, our troops complete the capture of Dueren without encountering formidable opposition. Simultaneous with the opening of the 1st Army's Ruhr Offensive, 9th Army units are ready to jump off in the vicinity of Linnich, 16 miles northwest down the river. Early in February, the Ruhr had risen from its normal width of 20 to 40 yards to 300 yards. By the 23rd, it is down to a maximum width of 50 yards, but still running 6 to 7 miles an hour. The tricky currents twist and toss the light wooden boats. One of the assault craft is shown righted again after having overturned and nearly drowned its occupants. Repetitions of such incidents are numerous. Rescuers saved many lives. Thoroughly drenched and weary from their ordeal, they continue on to join infantry troops moving beyond the Ruhr's east bank. A footbridge to facilitate further crossings is constructed by combat engineers under intense machine gun and mortar fire. Troops keep under cover until the span is ready for use. As they cross, an American reconnaissance plane surveys the operation. Many small towns fall in the path of the rapid advance, and an early count of prisoners reveals 4,000 captured in the first 24 hours. The 29th Infantry Division, still another arm of the coordinated drive across the Ruhr, it has the assignment of seizing the river fortress town of Jülich. Veterans of the siege of Saint-Lô in Normandy, Major General Charles Gerhardt's troops race across the infantry support bridge and on toward the objective. General Gerhardt makes the crossing along with his troops and directs the advance into besieged Jülich. The town, which had been heavily attacked by American aircraft prior to this attack, is quickly cleaned out by the 29th. Last-ditch defenders are driven from cellars inside Jülich. Incidents in the bridging of the Ruhr. This footbridge, constructed at night, was knocked out early the next morning. A soldier killed during the attack still lies on the wrecked span. Nearby, a heavy ponton bridge is erected. A similar bridge was halfway finished when shell fire wrecked it. The combat engineers changed their location slightly and promptly resumed construction work. A surrender trick. Supposedly bringing in prisoners with a white flag, a Nazi in American uniform seeks to expose our troops to sniper fire. He's immediately shot down.